I think many of you are going to enjoy this one, even if it is horrifying. So a few weeks ago, Sean Hannity hosted Donald Trump in a big town hall. They made a big deal out of it. People in the crowd were allowed to ask questions. It was set up as a complete softball just to make Donald Trump look good. And he looked terrible. The questions were super simple questions. We covered this, and it was notable because even easy questions Trump failed on. He was asked questions like, what were your biggest accomplishments in your first term? What is on your priority list for your second term? And Trump failed on every single one of these softball questions. Now, just as a reminder, here is Trump asked, what are your top second term priorities? He couldn't name anything. This was a couple weeks ago.
If you hear in 131 days from now, at some point in the night or early morning, we can now project Donald J. Trump has been reelected the 45th president of the United States. Let's talk. What's at stake in this election as you compare and contrast? And what are your top priority items for a second term?
Well, one of the things that will be really great, the word experience is still good. I always say talent is more important than experience. I've always said that. But the word experience is a very important word. It's a very important meaning. I never did this before. I never slept over in Washington. I was in Washington, I think, 17 times. All of a sudden, I'm president of the United States. You know the story. I'm riding down Pennsylvania Avenue with our first lady, and I say, this is great. But I didn't know very many people in Washington. It wasn't my thing. I was from Manhattan, from New York. Now I know everybody. And I have great people in the administration. You make some mistakes, like, an idiot like Bolton. All he wanted to do is drop bombs on everybody. You don't have to drop bombs on everybody. You don't have to kill people.
If John Bolton, in fact, released classified material, should he be prosecuted?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, he did release classified.
Well, Trump was given another chance in another softball Sean Hannity interview a few days ago, and he was asked the same question, and he had weeks to prepare a better answer, and he still failed. Trump was told by Hannity during the interview, a lot of people didn't like your answer last time. What are your second term priorities? And Trump goes on for 2 minutes and says almost nothing again. He got the test again. He already had the test questions. He answered one way. He gets the same test again, and he fails. Take a look.
What is your second term agenda?
Well, first of all, I didn't know I was criticized for that answer because it's a simple question. First of all, we're going to defeat the invisible enemy, and we're well on our way. And as again, I told you, the mortality rate is tenfold down. We're going to rebuild the economy. We're going to bring back jobs from all of these foreign lands that have stolen our jobs on horrible trade deals. We're going to continue to make great trade deals. We're going to finish rebuilding our wall. We're going to have that. It's going to be almost complete by the end of this year. Shortly thereafter, it's finished. It's made a tremendous difference. You see, we're doing record numbers on the border. Very few people are able to get through. We're rebuilding with our military. We've rebuilt the military, $2.5 trillion. We're fixing up the VA for our vets. What the job we've done there, between choice and accountability, we have choice where they can go out and get a doctor. If they're sick, they don't have to wait for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks. So we're doing great with the vets, and the vets are loving Trump. We're protecting our Second Amendment, so important. We need more judges and more justices. You see that now with the Supreme Court more than ever. And the next president, I've had 2, and the next president's going to be able to pick 2 or 3 or 1 or whatever, but a lot of justices. And that means everything, whether it's for life or other things. I mean, it means so much. But protecting the Second Amendment, getting more judges, all of the things that we've done, nobody has done what this administration has done in the first 3.5 years. Nobody's even come close. When you look at everything that we're doing, now what we're doing is working on lowering drug prices and knocking out special interests because it's not easy. We're fighting for choice. We did it for the veterans. Now we're doing it for school, too. We want choice in school so a parent can take their child to a school of their choice, and that's happening very good, very, very well. And we have many things that we're doing and many things that we've already completed, and you can't do more than what we've done. I think we've set records on we actually set a record on judges. We're going to be, by the time of the end of this year, we'll be up to almost 300.
So go through the list of what Trump said. He says, my priority is to defeat coronavirus. We've had one of the worst responses in the world. And when it's defeated, ultimately, it'll have nothing to do with Donald Trump. It'll be because of medical science. He says he's going to rebuild the economy. It's vague and meaningless. That's a vague and meaningless promise. He says he's going to bring jobs back from places that stole them. I thought he already dealt with fixing trade with his tariffs and USMCA. He's saying, oh, so he hasn't actually done that? Says he's going to build the wall and that it'll be almost complete within the year. That's a lie. And remember, he promised to build the full U.S.-Mexico border wall during the first term. Obviously, it's not going to happen. Obviously, it wouldn't happen during a second term. He again brings up we're going to rebuild the military. The military is huge. The military is fine. The military was fine under Barack Obama. There's no problem with the military. He again says he's going to keep fixing the VA for veterans like with Veterans Choice. That was an Obama provision. That's an Obama program from 2014, which Trump is taking credit for. But he said that he did that in the first term. Isn't it? Aren't we done doing that? So that's incoherent. Says he's going to protect guns. He mentions that twice. He's done nothing as far as that goes. Says he's going to lower drug prices and kick out the special interests. That sounds great. The problem is he promised that for term one and did the opposite. He says school choice. That's terrible, and it's code for take funding away from public education. And then again, he mentions judges 3 times. Now, that's a reason to remove Trump and to take control of the Senate back from Republicans. But getting judges confirmed, the Senate does that. It's Mitch McConnell who did that. No matter which Republican president you had, as vacancies come up, they nominate people. It's up to the Senate to go ahead and confirm them. So if your second term agenda is the same vague stuff as what you did in the first term or claimed you were going to do, but failed, why do you deserve a second term? It's another one of these vapid word salads. And I actually, listen, I worry. I know that part of the problem is that a lot of voters hear that 2-minute clip and they think Trump outlined an agenda. Like, this is an educational problem. An agenda would be Trump saying, or, a candidate saying, I have detailed proposals on my website, but to sum up, some of my main priorities for the second term are, in the next 4 years, I want to establish a public health care option and drop the Medicare age to 55. I will be establishing 3 new tax brackets at 42, 45, and 48%. The money which comes from that will be used to do green infrastructure spending, the details of which I specifically outline on my website in a proposal, but it includes retrofitting all government buildings to certain standards. It includes increasing the number, the percentage of energy that we use to be generated from these 3 renewable sources, whatever, right? Will put us back in Paris climate and the WHO. That's something that sounds like an agenda. What Trump said is not anything. And one of the real problems is, I don't want to say people are stupid, but there's a lot of stupid people. And when I did a segment just saying we've got to realize a lot of people are stupid, many people don't realize that Trump didn't even outline an agenda like that. The problem is a lot of folks are evaluating what Trump said to say, do I like this agenda or don't I like it? He didn't outline an agenda, and a lot of Trump's followers don't realize that. It's an educational issue at its core. If you are anything like me, you probably aren't thrilled with the idea of going into a doctor's office right now. And thankfully, there's a practical and affordable way to take control of your health and get personalized care from the comfort of your home. It's a service called SteadyMD. They're one of our sponsors. You take a quiz, you get matched with a licensed primary care physician who understands your health needs. You have a 1-hour video call with your new doctor. You establish a meaningful relationship with them. And after that, your doctor is available to you anytime by text, phone, or video chat. This is not a random doctor on call. Each doctor at SteadyMD has a limited number of patients, so they actually have time to listen to you. You get the personal attention that you deserve. They can do almost everything an in-person doctor can do: perform medical evaluations, talk to you about health concerns, send prescriptions to your home or local pharmacy, and anything they can't do online, they'll quickly set you up with an in-person provider to do things like blood tests, as an example. You don't need insurance. It's only $99 a month with no other fees or copays. There are so many practical advantages to using SteadyMD for primary care. And it's also so much more affordable. Go to steadymd.com/Pakman to take the free quiz, see which doctor is right for you. I took their quiz. They matched me with a doctor who specializes in my particular health needs and situation. The doctor they gave me is a really perfect fit for me and my medical needs. There's no risk, no commitment to get started. Just click the link right underneath this video.